Aloha. Welcome to Church of the Holy Cross, United Church of Christ in Hilo, Hawaii. I'm Eric Anderson. I'm the pastor here, and I'll be with you for the next hour. Hopefully without playing strings I didn't mean to too often. I'll be with you for the next hour for this second community concert in the month of June. So glad that you could be with me. So the program it does change fairly often, like every time, except for 3 songs in the program. One of the songs wanders about. You never can be quite sure of where you might find it, except that you won't find it at the beginning or the end. Those spots have their own songs. So here is the song for the beginning of our community concert. It's This Little Light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now, I'm gonna sing this verse as here in Hilo town, and if you're in Hilo, well, that's the way you sing it. But if you're somewhere else, sing it where you are. Hilo town, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, here in Hilo town, I'm gonna let it shine. Here in Hilo town, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No. Hide it under a bushel? No. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, we've all gotta let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And are we gonna let anybody blow this light out? I don't think so. Won't let anybody blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, I won't let anybody blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let anybody blow it out. We've all gotta let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. And there we are. We have our light shining. So might as well sing another song that we all know. Oh, I don't know. How about Will the Circle Be Unbroken? I was standing at the window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken? Oh, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Lord, I told that undertaker, oh, undertaker, please drive slow. That body that you carry, and Lord, I hate to was behind her. I tried to hold on and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in that grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Went back home, Lord, home was lonesome, 'cause my mother, she had gone. All my brothers and sisters crying, what a home so sad and lone. Will the circle be unbroken? Oh, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. One by one, the seats were emptied, or one by one they went away. That family now is parted. Will they meet again someday? Will the circle be unbroken? Oh, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Yes, the circle will be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. The great Charles Gabriel. This is a old love song. I have no idea how far back it goes. It's called the Riddle Song, and I like to sing it. I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. I gave my love a story that had no end. I gave my love a baby with no crying. I gave my love a cherry. How can there be a cherry that has no stone? How can there be a chicken that has no bone? How can there be a story that has no end? How can there be a baby with no crying? Yes, a cherry when it's blooming, it has no stone. A chicken when it's pippin', it has no bone. A story when it's written, it has no end. A baby when it's sleeping does no crying. I gave my love a cherry, a cherry. Yes, a cherry when it's blooming, it has no stone. chicken when it's pippin', it has no bone. The story of I love you, it has no end. A baby when it's sleeping does no crying. I gave my love a cherry. I gave my love a cherry. Riddle Song. This is another relationship song. It comes up fairly often in these community concerts, and it's not exactly a dialogue song. It's a message-ing song with a poor, unfortunate messenger in between. The, shall we say, overly impressed with himself young man, and the really doesn't want to have anything to do with him young woman. Anyway, he has chosen somebody on their way to a place where they might find they really don't want to have anything to do with a young man, young woman, and that place is Scarborough Fair. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without any seams or fine needlework. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to wash it in yonder dry well. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, where water ne'er sprung, nor a drop of rain fell. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to dry it on yonder thorn. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, which never bore blossom since Adam was born. She once was a true love of mine. Now pity the poor messenger has bring that. Now pity the messenger again, 'cause here's the young lady's response. Oh, will you find me an acre of land? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, between the sea foam and the salt sea sand, or never be a true lover of mine. And will you plow it with a ram's horn? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all over with one peppercorn, or never be a true lover of mine. And will you reap it with a sickle of leather? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and tie it all up with one peacock feather. There'll never be a true lover of mine. And when you've done and finished your work, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Oh, then come to me about your cambric shirt. Then you'll be a true lover of mine. Yeah, I'd say the chances of that relationship working out would be pretty close to 0. Well, this is a happier song about relationships, although frankly it's actually somewhat sillier. Oh, you ought to see my Cindy, she lives away down south. She's so sweet, the honeybee, he swarm around her mouth. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. The first I see my Cindy, she was standing in the door. Shoes and stockings in her hand, her feet all over the floor. She took me to her parlor, she cooled me with her fan. She said I was the prettiest thing in the shape of mortal man. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Then she kissed me and she hugged me. She called me Sugar Plum, she put her arms around me. I thought my time had come. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Now when Cindy got religion, she had it once before. When she heard my old guitar, she's the first one on the floor. Yeah, when Cindy got religion, she shouted all around. She got so full of glory that she shook her stockings down. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Oh, I wish I had a needle as fine as I could sew. I'd sew that girl in my coattails and down the road I'd go. I wish I was an apple hanging on a tree, when every time that Cindy passed she'd take a bite of me. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Oh, Cindy in the springtime, Cindy in the fall. If I can't have my own Cindy, I'll have the girl at all. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. And as long as we're singing somewhat silly traditional songs about relationships, well, I have to say that this one doesn't end happily. Well, actually, it epilogues happily, but we'll get to that. In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner, 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Light she was, and like a fairy, and her shoes were numbered 9. Herring boxes without topses, sandals were for Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Drove she ducklings to the water every morning just at 9. Stubbed her toe against a splinter, fell into the foaming brine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Ruby lips above the water, blowing bubbles soft and fine, but alas, I was no swimmer, so I lost my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Then the miner, 49er, soon began to peak and pine, thought he ought to join his daughter, now he's with his Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. In a churchyard near the canyon where the myrtles doth entwine, there grow roses and other posies fertilized by Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. She still doth haunt me, robed in garments soaked with grime. Though in life I used to hug her, now she's dead, I draw the line. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Now ye Boy Scouts and ye Girl Scouts, this tragic tale of mine, artificial respiration could have saved my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Well, we've had the sad story of love and loss and multiple tragedy, and of course we've even got a moral. Oh, but I did promise an epilogue now, didn't I? How I missed her, how I missed her, how I missed my Clementine, till I kissed her little sister and forgot my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Ah, yes. Well, this is one of my own songs, and although I didn't write it about politics, I usually tend to sing it in a political season and with more mailers arriving at my house for this, that, or the other candidate. Also, incidentally, confusing me quite a bit because the districts shifted boundaries, and so I've got a brand new slate of candidates to consider, which is very exciting, but was initially very confusing. However, I have noted, not quite so common here, but I have noted in the past that many political races come down to basically this, that one candidate tries to tell you how big a jerk the other candidate is, and the other candidate tries to tell you how big a jerk the first candidate is, so that by the time the election comes around, they've both succeeded, they've convinced us they're both jerks, and it's hard to see how we, the public, win in that situation. But this song isn't about politics, it's about driving, and it's called If You're a Jerk. Out on the road, just sailing down the highway. I'm on the way back home from a long day's work, out on the road, and from out of nowhere there's a blur in my right mirror and a sudden stab of terror. Car just missed my bumper, there was no room for error. He flashes on ahead. I found a jerk. If you're a jerk, I don't need to know it. If you're a jerk, why you gotta show it? If you're a jerk, oh, I've got a better plan. If you're a jerk, try and hide it if you can. Out on the road, I'm sitting on the highway, in a traffic jam that grand commuter's perk. Out on the road, and there in the breakdown lane, he's just sailing along as if he's doing nothing wrong. In his massive SUV or his Flash 280Z, so much more important than me, or he's a jerk. If you're a jerk, I don't need to know it. If you're a jerk, why you gotta show it? If you're a jerk, oh, I've got a better plan. If you're a jerk, try and hide it if you can. Oh, jerks don't limit jerkiness to highways. No, they don't. Jerks will always come straight at you sideways. Jerks will tell you lies they don't believe. Jerks will criticize the things they thieve. I tell you, I mean, the practice of jerks lying in leadership positions here and elsewhere in the world is simply mind-boggling. I am off the road, moving slowly in the parking lot. I have got all my senses on high alert, 'cause off the road they drive even worse than they do on it. Oh, did this maniac even look? It's like he's reading in a book and starting a drag race to grab the handicapped space. Wonder, will this guy ever be stopped? Oh, stop this jerk. If you're a jerk, I don't need to know it. If you're a jerk, why you gotta show it? If you're a jerk, oh, I've got a better plan. If you're a jerk, try and hide it. Go ahead and hide it. We don't need to know it. Too much information. You can keep it secret. Shh. If you can. Oh, to the jerks in the world, hide it. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Brother, lend a helping hand. Brother, lend a helping hand, hallelujah. Brother, lend a helping hand, hallelujah. Sister, help to trim the sail. Sister, help to trim the sail, hallelujah. Sister, help to trim the sail, hallelujah. Jordan's River is deep and wide. Jordan's River river is deep and wide. Hallelujah. I'll meet my mother on the other side. Hallelujah. Jordan's river is chilly and cold. Jordan's river is chilly and cold. Hallelujah. It chills the body but not the soul. Hallelujah. Trumpet sound of the Jubilee. Trumpet sound of Jubilee. Hallelujah. Trumpet sound of Jubilee. So this again is one of mine. I wrote it last November, and it's kind of a protest song. Not sure what I was protesting in November. Actually, I think I do know what I was protesting in November. Face today. Is the risk of illness worth the humble pay? As some empowered to protect themselves with lies, to keep their places though it's costing lives. Oh, trials and woes stare us in their midst. Though hatred beckons, we will coexist. On compassion and justice we firmly insist. Although the evils grow, yet we persist. As oceans rise, the waves approach the shore. The atmosphere can't bear new carbon anymore. Let some in power maintain their misrule, their fortunes fired up by the fossil fuel. Oh, trials and woes stare us in their midst. Though hatred beckons, we will coexist. On compassion and justice we firmly insist. Although the evils persist. Though the ways of faith may not be in fashion, we persist on the road of compassion. What those in power across the globe have missed is that faith, hope, and love. Yes, faith, hope, and love. Faith, hope, and love give us strength to persist. Or trials and woes snare us in their midst. Though hatred beckons, we will coexist. On compassion and justice we firmly insist. Though the evils grow, yet we persist. Although the evils grow, yet we persist. Although the evils grow, yet we persist. thinking about people who persisted in the American South, people who persisted thousands of years before crossing the Sinai, people who have persisted in so many places, in so many times, seeking their freedom, seeking a place, a time, a justice that meant that nobody else had a claim on their bodies. Follow the drinking gourd. Oh, follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. The old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. When the sun comes up and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. You got to follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. The old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Bank will make a mighty good road. The dead trees will show you the way. Oh, left foot, peg foot, traveling on. Follow the drinking gourd. You got to follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. The old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. River ends between two hills. Follow the drinking gourd. There's another river on the other side. Follow the drinking gourd. You got to follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. This one is a very new song. Actually, I would only claim to have finished it today, and so therefore, if it sounds a little rough, well, that's because I'm still learning it. Days are just too much, the world's weight is heavy on the shoulders and the heart, the shoulders and the heart. Some days are just too much, so the soul yearns for a comforting word. When someone's day is just too much, bring a smile and embrace. On a day that is too much, wear a kind and caring face. For the day will come when there's no more you can do, when the steady shoulder will be for you. Some days are just too much, all the passion has run out. To fight the good fight, to fight the good fight. Some days are just too much, much to keep crying out for justice when nobody listens to you. On a day that is too much, take a breath, take a pause. On a day that is too much, know that you can make a difference, for the day will come when another voice will sound in sympathy and harmony with you. Some days are just too much, all the trials and obligations. Some days are just too much, they bow the brain and body down. Some days are just too much, so the soul yearns for a better day someday. On a day that is too much, shed the burdens, take your rest. On a day that is too much, then renewing yourself is best. For another day will come, despite the evils of this world, with a better tomorrow for you. Yes, another day will come, despite the evils of this world, with a better day for us all. Some days are just too much. We'll actually sing this as a hymn on Sunday. It is one of my favorite of the hymns that are unique to Hawaii. Kolomea Nui. Hey, Kolomea Nui Makahonu. Kamana o io, kamana o lana. A me ke aloha e oe ae. Ko mai kahina mea apa. Ko mai kahina mea apa. Kahina mea apa. O mai kahina mea apa. O mai kahina mea apa. Kolomea Nui. And Robert Nawahine was not the only one to take up that great theme of love. So was John Newton. Robert Newton. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. The Lord has promised good to me, God's word my hope secures. God will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, I've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. And just one more from me for this evening. Dream of Peace. Peace settles first in the heart, committed, resilient, to give peace a start. Peace issues then from the soul, compassion embodied, making our loved ones whole. Give me a dream of peace. Give me a world that wakes to this dream. Give me a future that becomes the now. If we dream it, we can make it somehow. Peace washes over the land to comfort and nourish the waterless sand. And now peace is more than the absence of war. Peace is justice and kindness in abundant store. Give me a dream of peace. Give me a world that wakes to this dream. Give me a future that becomes the now. If we dream it, we can make it somehow. Travel all of the earth, all are entitled, all are of worth. Peace twinkle there in the stars, a light stream of comfort when peace seems so far. Give me a dream of peace. Give me a world that awakes to this dream. Give me a future that becomes the now. If we dream it, we can make it somehow. If we dream it, we can make it somehow. If we dream it, we can make it somehow. A dream of peace. And that brings us to the last song of the evening. Another song of peace. A love song, I like to say. A love song to the Aina, to the land, to the Moku, to the island of Hawaii, by Lorenzo Lyons. E Hawaii ku ne hana hoe, ku home ku lagi vine, o hino agi na pono lani o. E Hawaii, aloha. And there you have it, our community concert for this fourth Friday in the month of June. So we have worship coming up on Sunday morning at 10. If you are here in Hilo, you are welcome to join the gathered congregation. If you are at a distance, or if for whatever other reason getting here is simply not practical, then feel free to stream the worship service online. It'll be right here at holycrosshilo.com. And then we've got a song from Church of the Holy Cross at 11 a.m. next Wednesday. Well, I am so glad that you could be with me this evening, or if you're watching the recording, at whatever time of the day it happens to be for you. Until we are next together again, let there be a song in your heart to refresh you when you are weary, to renew you when you are feeling dragged down, and to inspire you when there are great things to be accomplished ahead. Aloha.